Parshas Totos is unique in that it really describes the life of Yitzchak Avinu in the most succinct way of all the avos, which take our Avinu, Yaakov Avinu, the span of many parshios. And the core of the parsha is clearly the brachos that Yitzchak Avinu gives to both Yaakov and then later to Esav. Yaakov Avinu is the bracha of all prosperity. It's the bracha of Birkas Avraham. And Esav's bracha is only that when Yaakov Avinu is not in the Beis Medrash, when there's no Kol Yaakov, then there's the Yadayim Midei Esav. At the end of the parsha, we find that Yitzchak Avinu blesses Yaakov Avinu with the Birkas Avraham, and he tells him not to marry from the daughters of Canaan and to go to Haran and find a wife there. And we now pick up in source 1. When Esav saw that Yitzchak had blessed Yaakov and sent him off to Padan Aram to take himself a wife from there, as he blessed him, he commanded him, saying, "You shall not take a wife from among the daughters of Canaan," and that Yaakov obeyed his father and mother and went to Padan Aram. Then Esav perceived that the daughters of Canaan were evil in the eyes of Yitzchak. So Esav went to Yishmael and took Machlat, the daughter of Yishmael, son of Abraham, sister of Navayot, in addition to his wife, as a wife for himself. It's this last pasuk, that Esav going to marry Machlas, the daughter of Yishmael, that I'd like to Mirta Hashem focus in on today, and raise a number of questions. Question number 1, which is the obvious question, it's a question we've always asked, is every pasuk in Chumash is nitzchias. Every pasuk in Chumash teaches us important lessons. What lesson do we learn from the fact that Esav took Machlas, the sister of Nevayot, the daughter of Yishmael, as a wife, aside from his other wives, for our lives? How is it relevant? What lessons do we learn? That's one. Question number 2 we have to ask is, if Esav saw that it was not pleasing to Yitzchak to take a wife from Canaan, so why doesn't he go and take Leah? Is not Leah his intended one? Would that not make him, if he's sending him to Yaakov to Padan Aram, so jump on the boat, go to Padan Aram and take Leah? Why doesn't Esav take Leah? Which is an interesting question, right? The older to the elder, the younger to the younger. And our third question, which is really the core question that I'd like to ask today, is the question of Rashi's question. Achot Nevayot, why do we need to know this? So in source 2, the article Stone Chumash tells us that Rashi notes the apparently superfluous description, sister of Vayot, is added to imply the tradition that Yishmael died immediately after he designated his daughter as Esav's bride. Nevayot is mentioned because it is he who actually gave her in marriage. To which Rashi, in source number 3, and I cut it in the middle, it's one of the longest Rashis you'll find in Breshit, Rashi then does a mathematical calculation. If we would say that Yishmael died at this time, and we know how old Yishmael was when Yitzchak was born, and we know how old Yishmael was when he died, and we know how old Yitzchak was when Yaakov was born, when you figure out all these calculations, you will find that there are 14 years missing in Yaakov Avinu's life. To which Rashi notes in the bracket, Nimsa Yaakov Kishemet Yishmael ben Samach Gimel Shanim Haya. We find that Yaakov Avinu was 63 years old when Yishmael died. V'lamadnu mikan, we learn from here. Shenitman beveit ever yudal shana. He hid himself in the Beis Medrash of Shem Ve'ever, a very famous Medrash, which is not found in the text. It's found in Rashi. He hid himself for 14 years learning Torah. And then he went to Haran. So the question we need to ask is, this is a very famous Medrash. Medrash we learned from a young age, that Yaakov Avinu hides for 14 years before he goes out. So then we need to understand, the pasuk. The pasuk says, and Yaakov obeyed his father and mother and went to Padan Aram. He didn't go to Padan Aram. He went to the Beis Medrash of Shem Ve'ever. Only in next week's parsha, Vayetze Yaakov Beersheva, Vayelech Harana, does he go to Haran? And obviously there are many answers to this question. But one is, it says he went to Vadanaran, he doesn't. He goes to Shem Ve'ever. How do we understand this? How do we reconcile the Medrash with the Pshat in the Pasuk? And two is, why is it that we learn that Yaakov Avinu was in Beis Medrash Shem Ve'ever davka from the fact that Esav marries Machlas as a wife? It seems to be such a, strange place to mention this. I would have thought that Vayetze Yaakov Beersheva Haran. Vayetze Yaakov Beersheva, don't think he left Beersheva. First he was in the Beis Medrash for Shem Ve'ever 14 years, and here's how we learn it. But to learn it from Esav marrying Yishmael's daughter, obviously there must be significance in where Chazal learn what they learn, and we need to understand the significance. So let's work through our first question. First, what do we learn from this pasuk? 3